This video is sponsored by Delve. Have you wondered where the dungeons are in Dungeons & Dragons? So have I. And Delve's got you covered with 200 pages of monsters, traps, and magic items. Get GM advice from Bob Worldbuilder and monsters and dungeon encounters from Ginny D, Sly Flourish, Kelsey Dion, Pointy Hat, Dungeon Dad, Runehammer, and me, Professor Dungeon Master. With subclasses, feats, player races, and dungeon encounters, Delve is completely compatible with 5e and Shadow Dark. Do not miss Delve. Support good games from good people and real artists. And tell them Professor DM sent you by hitting the link below. On with the show.
Deathbringer here. Subscribe to the channel and sign up for the Deathbringer RPG newsletter at the link below.
Welcome to Dungeon Craft. I'm Professor DM, and this channel is about independent and homebrew role-playing games. And today, we're looking at a new one. EZd6 Wasted World post-apocalyptic role-playing from Runehammer Games. And if small independent games and game companies are important to you, you want to subscribe, hit the bell icon, give this video a like, and share it. Of the channels in the TTRPG community that have over 100,000 subscribers, I am one of the very few that cover these sorts of small independent press games. I love big games and big IPs, but I want to live in a world where you don't need an established IP or millions of dollars of Kickstarter or Hollywood money to get the word out there that your game exists. If that's important to you, please subscribe and consider joining Patreon at the link below, where you get extra video content and access to my exclusive Discord server and more. The patrons are the people that make this content possible. The YouTube algorithm absolutely punishes any video that is not mainstream D&D. Just watching this video all the way through will help promote it to people who might be interested in it. So thank you very much. All right, let's take a look at EZd6 Wasted World by DM Scotty from Runehammer Games, illustrated by Sean Bova. This is a post-apocalyptic role-playing game in the tradition of Gamma World and movies like The Road Warrior and A Boy and His Dog. First thing you'll want to do is create a survivor, that is a character. And I'll run you through the steps. You've got a path, then inclinations, which are essentially feats, an edge, which is a power, and your class gives you basic abilities, and then you can build out from there. So we have an android. They come with the inclination Bio Clear. They're immune to poison and contagion. And they get 5 additional inclinations. We got starting gear. I love it how every class is on one page. We have clones, hunters, machine heads, muties. He looks like Toxic Avenger, Rambler, Scathy. I just have to read you the description because there's nothing like it. In a world of junk, you are king. Not king like I can make something out of this. You're more like, these are my trashed subjects and I am their dumpster overlord. Wasteland Warrior, Weird, who are like spellcasters, and the Jack. This is a jack-of-all-trades character, and you can essentially build your own character however you want them. For someone that doesn't fit in any category, I made a guy named Angry Artie. He was a librarian, but also he drove a motorcycle. So inclinations are survivor talents. They're essentially feats, like animal empathy or cat-like. You gain advantage when you're jumping. Lucky bastards gain advantage for avoidance saves. In EZd6, advantage is called a boon. Disadvantage is called a bane. More on that later. Inclinations include physical mutations, mental mutations, like you might have ESP, DNA modifications, or biosynth packages. These are aspects. This is your character's background. I'm going to do it live. 2-16-1. So you have a great singing voice, but you're a coward and you're orphaned. Guidelines for playing environments. Holds are strongholds, and you might have one like a battle cage like Thunderdome or the Soylent Vats. Wonderland is like a Disney World. And holds are like castles, and each is a little different, and you can get new gear and recharge. Gears, supplies, gaining gear, scrap, looting stuff, weapons you can make and carry, and the vehicle rules. Vehicles have different classes and different mods, and they can absorb hits like characters. And these are the different vehicle maneuvers, and it's also a good time to explain how to play the game. In EZd6, tasks have difficulty ratings. Normal is 3, hard is 4, very hard 5, super hard 6. And you roll a d6. If you meet or beat the target number, you succeed. If you're trained in something, like you're trained at combat or firearms, you get a boon. You roll 2d6. So if you're good at driving and you want to do a very hard stunt, you got to get a 5 or better. Look, you did it. If you have some other advantage, like a piece of equipment, like your car is really cool, then you roll another die. If you're not skilled at something, you might incur a bane, which means you lose a die. It is simple to understand, and there's no math involved. You do have karma, which you can spend to alter the rolls in your favor, but there aren't ability scores or tons of modifiers, which creates a game experience that is incredibly fast, smooth, and immersive, and anyone can grasp the first time they play. Like you want to go up on 2 wheels and squeeze through an alley. The game master might say, all right, that's super hard, 6. But you did it. Characters and vehicles don't have hit points, they have strikes. In most cases, 3 strikes and you're out. So you don't have to waste time calculating tons of damage. If you're hit, you take a strike. On a critical hit, you take 2 strikes. Armor gives you an armor save. If you make your save, you don't take that strike. And depending on the quality of your vehicle, this chart tells you how many strikes it can withstand. As Scotty says, don't get bogged down in specifics for vehicle action. The key is speed and impact, not looking up the rules. The more vehicles wind up wrecked, the better. And we have everything from motorcycles to cars to tanks, all lovingly illustrated by Sean Bova. This guy can really draw vehicles, and he can also draw monsters like a blister rat. I love the pustules on this thing. This is a random monster generator, very cool. We got monsters like Doom Stompers, which are mutant dinosaurs. Gangers, which are the goblins of this world. Hitcher worms, these giant sandworms that burrow in the dirt. There's a lot of mutant animals like the Kanga mouse. I love that. I love the shoulder separation there. We got Morlocks, murder mongers, pig dogs. And the stat blocks are simple. A buff murderous psycho with a creepy mask fused to their faces. 6 strikes. To be hit, you need a 3 or better. It rolls 2 dice on melee attacks, and it cannot be mind controlled. All in bullet points. That is so great. I love the sense of humor in this game. Really is awesome. Zombies are called Romero. Shriekers and skullweeds, and the art is really great. It really sells this. It really makes you realize how important art is for conjuring a world. Game Master section, and it covers things like shooting and cover and setting challenge levels and starvation, dehydration, optional rules like hardcore mode, and rules for leveling up. The original EZd6 doesn't have that. That's something that players often want. They want some sort of improvement system, and they have that here. Treasures of the Wasteland. These are your magic items. They're like the super powerful loot. And this is one of my favorites, the Mission Maker. All right, let's make a mission. You bump into a shadowy stranger who wants you to acquire a target by any means necessary. And that target is very special scrap. Some kind of techno doodad, but all wrecked. Just head for the factory out near the hills. The place is abandoned. But watch out for a ballistic trap. And you'll have to contend with a Romero infestation. Different random gangs you might encounter. Different NPCs, like Deacon, a well-dressed scholar. Or Elvis, he's still alive. Swan, a badass sniper. Randomly generate a hold. Jughead, reach. I love these kind of random charts. And some advice for running games like, there's nothing funnier than the end of the world. Obviously, it's about the apocalypse, so it's dark, but it's also manic and darkly funny. It reminds me of those dark future Warhammer novels they did many years ago. And we have the thank you page, which includes Brandish Gilhelm from Runehammer, and me, because I was a playtester, as well as Mrs. Professor Dungeon Master, my lovely wife Michelle. Thanks, Scotty, for the shout out. And of course, the Georges, Romero and Miller, who influenced this work. But this is a fantastic game. Wasted World gets a big 2 enthusiastic thumbs up from me. You can get it at the link below. In terms of D6s, I like Powered by the Apocalypse and games like Dungeon World and Blades in the Dark that have been inspired by it. And that game gets a lot of attention, and it's good. But in my opinion, and having played both of them, I think EZd6 is just another level of fun. I don't know why this game system doesn't get as much attention. The exploding dice on a natural 6 make EZd6 way more dynamic. There's a lot more cheering at an EZd6 table than probably any game I've ever seen. Maybe Cobalt's Ate My Baby, which is also a very good game. That's by 9th Level Games. So I hope you'll check it out, and I hope you keep on checking out Dungeon Craft. I'll see you next time. May all your rolls be 20.
Deathbringer again, reminding you, do not eat the Soylent Green, but do watch more Dungeon Craft, including the Lost City with DM Scotty.